Alright guys, we are ready to rock and roll here on this Wednesday. I do believe it is Wednesday, December the 16th. I'm meteorologist Jeremy Capel joining you. We are streaming live from a couple of platforms right now, so I'm going to need your help to make sure that we're doing our job all right. For our friends on Facebook, I'll be checking comments in a moment. Let me know how the audio and how the video is going so far. And we should be up and rolling also on our YouTube stream as well. We've been talking about the storm for about a week now, but it's upon us currently as we speak, and it's going to be a doozy. It does, in fact, look like snow totals will be going up for not just parts of the mid-Atlantic and southern New England, but now this is back building enough, and I would say significantly enough, for parts of western New York, including the Rochester metro area, to pick up more snow than was earlier anticipated. So during this live stream, we will be focusing on that possibility. Right now, I'm going to do my best job of multitasking. If you don't mind, bear a moment as I try to get this information out over on Twitter. I think that's about the only platform I haven't made an announcement that we were on. So let me do that real fast, and we'll dive right on into this thing. In the meantime, I'll let you look at current radar. And watching a sprawling low pressure system. It's got multiple lobes of low pressure with it as well, and a rather sizable shield of snow. I know it is snowing in Rochester. It's snowing in Geneva. Just got off the phone with one of our weather observers. Says it's a fine greasy snow right now. So give me just a moment. We'll get started formally with this program. All right, that's out and away. Let's see who we have in the program. And again, I'm asking for your guys' feedback on audio quality and video quality. Let me know how the show looks to you so far. And let's see if I can't get my comments to populate properly here. Also, as mentioned, we are streaming live on YouTube as well during this update. Okay, I'm looking at the comments now. All right, we've got Andy, Donna, we've got Kathy, thank you very much. David D. on the Facebook feed right now, and hello to you, Clay Taft. I do have custom snowfall graphics with this storm as well. Let me know what it's doing over at your house. Meanwhile, over on our YouTube feed, let's see, small crowd gathering as we speak. Let me know, YouTube, how the feed is looking so far. So if you are following us from the YouTube feed, please let me know what you are seeing. Make sure that we're being heard. All right, so let's get started here, and I'm going to see if I can't increase my comment area. You have to forgive me as I do my best at multitasking. All right, good. Audio and video both good in this end. This is actually great, because we've been working on our capabilities of multi-streaming for a while, and it's finally looking like our hard work is beginning to pay off. We've got about 170 people on the Facebook stream, so thank you very much. Be sure to keep those likes and shares coming here. If you don't mind, yeah, helping us to get the word out, as always, it is appreciated. So the question is, on my live stream, how can I get it to, I want to hide my description. All I want to look at are your comments. So give me a second while I figure this out. And you can see very sizable storm. Many people are impacted by this. They have expanded the winter storm warnings from earlier. It now includes much of New England, where it did not as of this morning. All right, I've got my comments back. We've got Clay Taft. We are getting hit pretty good right now. I think it's starting about 2 hours ago. I have 2 inches so far. Let me know your location. Are you in the Rochester area, Clay? And then Marie wants to know if we'll see a foot. Well, I'm going to cover all of the latest data during this live stream, and I do believe parts of Pennsylvania and New York will see 2 feet of snow, maybe more, out of this deal. So it's a big potent storm system. Let's go ahead and get you started by talking about the winter storm watches, advisories, and warnings. I believe all of the watches have now been upgraded. So let's take you on over, take a look at who's seeing what. Anywhere you have pink on this map, that is your winter storm warning. It does include a huge chunk of the Appalachians, Mid-Atlantic, into southern portions of New England. All the big cities are involved at this point, minus DC. DC, you're technically on a winter weather advisory, also Baltimore, but Philadelphia, New York City, Providence, Hartford, and into Boston as well. All of you guys, the big metropolitan area is going to get a big snow. Now, it's also increased on the northern end. Now, while we don't have warning criteria at this moment across western New York, they're pushing that winter weather advisory further north, and I think they may have to think about putting Monroe, Wayne, northern Cayuga, Oswego counties maybe into at least that winter weather advisory, because I think everybody's going to see more snow than expected, at least on this part of the storm. Big storm, as we've been talking about. Here's a look at your Futurecast radar. This is covering the Mid-Atlantic into New York, and I'm going to change our view here in just a couple of moments. I want to continue to bring in the latest weather model information that we have for you. I want you to get your eyeballs on exactly what the models are saying, and then we're going to roll through these models 1, 2, 3 like, just to give you an idea of how much snow is expected. Some of the models are going crazy. They're going absolutely bananas over this storm. And here I've got the European up right now. All right, and here she comes. And I've got 24 hour. I'm going to go storm total. And there's a couple of things here. So you can see the movement of the storm as I'm tracking with you here through this Futurecast model. I'm gonna move this north because I know most of our population is closer to New York State, not necessarily down into the Mid-Atlantic. So this gives you an idea. This is tonight. This is 10 o'clock. This is 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And you can see that dark blue. That's where you're going to get 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches an hour. It will not be that intense for western New York, for Rochester, but I say western New York, it's not true for parts of the southern tier and parts of the Finger Lakes, where I think you are looking at in excess of a foot of snow. But obviously a lot of people will be impacted by this. Let's see who we have in the program right now. We've got 160 people live. Thank you very much. If you don't mind keeping the likes and shares coming, it's always appreciated. Over on our YouTube channel, small crowd. Joven on here. Snowing a lot in Westchester, Pennsylvania. It picked up over the last few hours, and thanks, Joven. If you have an estimate of how much you have on the ground, let me know. Jim Perry says audio and video good on YouTube, and I'm glad to hear that. Andy on here. Overcast in Cincinnati. No precipitation right now. Mike on here looks great to me. Jeremy, thank you. Again, this is from our friends on the YouTube channel. And then we've got JJ Light Snow falling in Irondequoit. We appreciate that. If you guys don't mind, a quick like and share of the program. As always, it is appreciated. Let's go back over to radar, and I want to get some specifics in here for you before we move on to model data, how much they are projecting snowfall wise, and then my predictions as far as how much snow in this live update. Keep in mind also, if you don't normally get notified when we're on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to check the notification bell. That way you're up to date with the latest. We do cover weather, particularly on the Facebook and YouTube channels, but also we do dive into news and politics when it warrants, particularly for the Facebook channel. YouTube, mainly it's weather, but it's good if you guys are on either one if you want those weather updates. At least that is our focus. Low pressure, there's multiple lobes of low pressure with this, because the main low has just beginning to get going, and you can actually see that here as you take a look. There's one across the Ohio Valley. That's more in association with the upper feature, and now we're seeing a stronger surface reflection located on coastal Carolina, just south of Jacksonville, North Carolina. That's going to become your primary low, and that's going to zip right on up the coast. And as it does so, the snow shield will expand, and you're going to see again very heavy bursts of snowfall for portions of PA and New York. When I say burst, I'm talking about several hours coming down at 2 to 3, maybe even locally up to 4 inches per hour. So it's a big system. It's a powerful system. A lot of people will be impacted by that. Right now, the heaviest of the snow falling, you can see moving out of the Ohio River Valley. Just some pretty light stuff, say between Canton, Parkersburg, West Virginia, out towards Columbus. But as soon as you get into Pennsylvania, most of the states seeing some pretty good snowfall right now. The heaviest of the snow falling eastern and southeastern Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, for instance, seeing moderate to heavy snowfall. Temperature currently of 30 degrees, right at 32 in New York City. And that temperature for the city will be critical as far as how much snow they actually end up seeing. Making your way closer to the Rochester area, western New York, snow is falling, but it's light. It's a very fine, powdery. I know Jim was describing it as kind of a greasy snow. I think it's a drier snow from my perspective. So putting this into motion, and we'll get right on into those expected snowfall updates here in just a couple of moments. Randy Shea, 3 inches for Rochester as measured at the airport. As of what time was that, Randy? Because that surprises me if it's already that high. That's actually that's ahead of just about any forecast model scheduling with a storm. So is that the prediction, or is that a measurement? I'm guessing that is probably a prediction. Big difference between a prediction and a measurement. So Randy, double check that for me if you don't mind, and let's see if I can't find any new information coming in from the National Weather Service. I do have them on here live. Buffalo, National Weather Service out of Buffalo is not mentioning any current observations of snow on the ground, but if we go a short distance away, we are seeing it in Binghamton, New York right now. I can report to you they've got 3 inches coming in from Litchfield and Bradford County on the ground right now. We've got 1.5 inches being reported from Vestal and Broome County, New York. And really, this is just the beginning, so just a few inches. Let's move on over to State College, Pennsylvania. As much as 5 inches on the ground. Make that 5.5. That's Bellefonte, which is in Center County. And it looks like a measurement or an estimate of 7.5 inches of snow coming in from a train spotter. That's in Calamont, or Somerset County in Pennsylvania. We move on over to Philadelphia, and they've got locally up to 6 inches on the ground. Make that 7 inches on the ground. Oxford in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Again, this is just the beginning. Big storm, and we're going to see those totals really ratcheting up here as we go throughout the next few hours. This evening and overnight tonight will be the main show. So how much are the models saying? Let's jump right on in. And again, winter storm warnings for much of the region. And then you make your way into
big storm, and we're going to see those totals.
Let me come back. Apologize about the echo. That does tend to happen on the program. That's why we need a producer, by the way. We need a producer and we need a tech guy. If you have experience in any of these areas and you got some time in your hands, give me a call. Send me a message. All right, let's go back on over to radar update. Here we go. All right, so this is the European forecast model here. And let me see if I can narrow this down. I'm going to zoom on in and go zoom. There it is. And let's take a look. So the euro, according to where we should be right now, should be less than a half inch in Rochester. So this is basically where it's at now. I'm using the Kuchera method here, which I tend to think it may be a bit of an overestimate in some areas. But you can see it's no joke. It's showing 7 inches in Rochester. I think that's high, but maybe not that high. And then look at this area here. Just a tremendous amount of snow across the southern portions of, who's calling me this hour? Southern portions of New York State, and then northern and northeastern Pennsylvania. That's a bullseye of 2 to 2.5 feet. Big snow potential here. This is the euro. Let's come on over to the high-res NAM. The new one just came in. And again, it's got similar totals in Rochester, 7, 8 inches even. It's got 9 inches up there for Williamson or Wolcott. And then look at that, similar numbers downstate where you're looking at likely what will turn out to be a couple of feet of snow. 2, 2.5. Not quite for New York City. If you're in the New York City area, you're going to see a big snow. But man, there's a huge gradient here. And I want to dive right on into New York City. Because if you live in New York City, I mean, it really is just going to depend on what side of town you're on. If you're on the south side of Long Island, you may only see 3 or 4 inches of snow. And this is why this would be such a headache to forecast in places like New York or Philadelphia. Philadelphia, south side of town, 4 or 5 inches of snow, but you go just north of town, and this includes New York, you're better than a foot plus. You're 12, 15, 16 inches. Then you go a little bit further north, and that's where the incredible snowfall totals are expected to occur. So again, tracking the storm live as it's making its way into New England, the Mid-Atlantic, the Appalachians. Let's check in with comments, and then we'll have my prediction for snowfall. If you're watching me in Rochester, now's the time to share this program. I'm about to show Rochester, Western New York specific custom forecasted totals. They are going up. Who can expect 6? Who can expect 12 plus inches of snow across western New York? And I do believe that's coming to parts of the Finger Lakes and southern tier. In Rochester, parts of Rochester, maybe most of Rochester, will be shoveling. Okay, so shoveling the snowfall in this live update. So let's take a look at the warning one more time. I'll get those snowfall totals for you. Again, so many areas underneath warnings. I believe Rochester, Wayne County, Oswego County, Northern Cayuga County should in fact be under a winter weather advisory. And the reason is I think your snow totals are going to reach that amount to where that would be warranted and necessary. Going back over to radar, and then we'll jump right on into those expected snowfall totals. I gave you the weather model information. Thank you for the share, Amy and Patty. I've got my friend over there in Burlington from Ontario, Canada, reporting snow right now. And we appreciate you guys taking the time for the likes and shares of the program. And one quick look over at our friends over on YouTube. Thank you very much. If you guys don't mind a quick like and share, as always, it is appreciated. And check your notification bell. We have been doing more of these winter weather updates. I'm expecting, as we officially hit winter next week, going into Christmas, we will be busy going into the first part of the official winter season. I heard of a lot of complaints of people saying, "Where's the snow? Where's the snow? How come we haven't seen a good winter storm?" Where here you go. Okay, technically this is still fall. Well, at least astronomically speaking, it is still fall. So I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, don't forget, you can also find me in all of these social medias located near you. On Facebook, on YouTube, probably where you're hearing or watching us now, but also we have a presence on Twitter, Instagram, and now more recently Parler, which is blowing up for probably obvious reasons if you've been watching news and politics in recent months. And then also on Rumble. That is the new video site that is doing a pretty good job of competing with YouTube right now. So we are working on getting a presence over there. Come on and find us. Jeremy Capel. Capel, by the way, spelled with a K, 2 P's, 2 L's. So come on over and check it out. All right, let's talk about how much we're expecting snowfall-wise. As mentioned, for much of the region, you're going to get hit. Big boy storm. They gave it a name on Weather Channel, like they do. What are they calling it? Gale? Maybe is this winter storm gale? It's hard to keep track. Names. They're naming everything nowadays, but that's all right. That's fine. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the idea, but I guess it's okay. So here's your model. I'm going to take you back over to the 3K NAM, which I think has got the best resolution on this right now. I'm going to show you its interpretation, then I'm going to show you my interpretation, your custom snowfall map coming up next. So there you go. This is these areas again. This is using a, it's called a Kuchera method for snowfall prediction. Basically takes total liquid, takes into consideration the temperature profile of the atmosphere to come up with different snow ratios. So liquid to solid ratio amounts. Typically on the low end you'd see something like 8-to-1. On the higher end it may be 20-to-1. And I think we may be looking at something closer to that higher end amount for Rochester because it's so cold. The temperatures are in the low 20s. Now, if you really dumb this down and you just go straight 10-to-1, even at 10-to-1, you're still looking at pretty appreciable snowfalls into the lake counties, which is 3, 4, 5 inches. That's at 10-to-1. So again, I'm thinking we're going to see higher totals than that. So what am I thinking? Here you go. My forecast right here. And I'd love to see after we're done how all of this verifies, but just so you know on your map here, the most of New York's going to be covered up. The exceptions, and this is quite ironic, is going to be up here, far north, northern parts of the state, the North Country. You go north of the Adirondacks, and you might be looking at 1-2 inches of snow. Also, Niagara Frontier, I'm afraid, is going to get shadowed, and there won't be as much. So 1 to 3 there. On the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, where it's going to be a little melty due to winds coming off of Lake Erie, you know, you're talking about just a few inches of snow. You get inland, it gets heavier quick. That's why I'm going 36 for Rochester to about Syracuse. Syracuse probably closer to 6 inches. But this is going to be enough to shovel, I think, for most people, especially because it's been cold. Because it's been as cold as it has the last 24 hours, a temperature of 21 right now. It's going to stick. It's going to stick quickly. This evening, overnight, tonight, it's a powdery snow. And it's cold enough to where salt's going to have... It's not going to do a great job. All right, so who's going to be the big winners here? I think you make your way to near the Tug Hill, into north central New York, north of Albany, 6 to 12. I think the Central Finger Lakes, I think, are looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow. That includes from near Geneva to Canandaigua, point south to Ithaca, a pretty decent snow. Also 6 to 12 for western portions of PA, Pittsburgh, I think you're looking at 6 to 12. And then once you get to near Albany, to Binghamton, Williamsport, Scranton, north of New York City. That's your 12 to 24. And I think I'm being conservative because I really think somebody's going to measure 30 inches, and it might be near Binghamton, right in that area there. I think somebody's going to measure 30 inches of snow by the time all is said and done, which of course is quite significant. Big snow totals. Let me know what you think about this map. Let me know what you think about the information that I've provided for you here in this program. It looks like our YouTubers, we've got Jim Perry, we've got Joven, we've got Andy, overcasted. He mentioned in Cincinnati earlier. The professor is still here, though. That's Jim Perry. And we appreciate you guys. If you don't mind, a quick like and share of the program on YouTube, on Facebook as well. Robin said, loved your Christmas card, and thank you, Robin. I received a Christmas card from the Kumans today, and I want to thank you, Josh, the entire family for that as well. What about Burlington, Ontario? Will I get part of that snowstorm, says Darren. And Darren thinks we're sticking around. Well, let's take a look at what the models are showing for you. And, you know, Darren, I apologize. I know you're a snow fan. I just don't see a lot coming your way. You're going to have a bit of a connection from maybe Lake Huron for a time period. and that may be your best bet for picking up some appreciable snowfall. All right, final check of your radar. We'll bring this stream down for a close. Again, appreciate you guys taking the time to be here on this Wednesday as we've been kind of expanding our line of weather media. You can see what's happening back across the Ohio River Valley. You got this upper low. It's weak. It's enough to produce some snow showers out towards Indianapolis, making your way maybe north of Cincinnati, heading towards Dayton. Just seeing some drizzle right now in Louisville, Kentucky at 37 degrees. You're seeing the rain in eastern Kentucky, the elevational snow across the Appalachians. And now you've got your primary low pressure area that's developing right here, making its way up into coastal sections of North Carolina. You've got that new image coming in now, that low. And look at the temperature. Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. This is what I'm talking about. It's 64 degrees in Cape Hatteras right now. Yet to the north, we've got temperatures in the 20s and even teens. Binghamton coming in at 19 degrees. Watertown at 12. So it's kind of a big deal. So much of this area is, in fact, underneath winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. We will continue to monitor the situation. Again, thanks for coming on. Keep the likes and shares coming of this program. Lisa and I both will be back with our full program tonight. That's Weather Live at 8:45, where we do cover more things than weather. So if you want to get something that's not available in the mainstream media, and if you want to get something that's a little less biased as far as your news and your politics are concerned, come on over. I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's Weather Live at 8:45. And a reminder, we're going to have a very special guest on our show tomorrow night. Not tonight, but tomorrow night. I want to have you guys join me for Matt Christensen. He's huge. Matt Christensen, big time live streamer, a vlogger. He's the host of Beta or Make That Beauty in the Beta. They have a live stream as well. But man, this guy's huge. He covered my story from last year. And I want to invite you to join us for Matt Christensen live on Weather Live at 8:45. That's coming up here tomorrow night, Weather Live at 8:45. So be sure to hit us there. I'm going to remind my YouTubers, Matt Christensen, everybody, share this. He will be on. Actually, let me take the time to type that out. All right, so that's Matt Christensen. He's got 250,000 people that follow him on YouTube. Big deal. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about all the craziness that's going on in the world of news and politics. So that's coming up here tomorrow night. Guys, thank you very much for being on the program. We'll catch you hopefully tonight. Weather Live at 8:45, and we will talk to you guys then. In the meantime, you guys be careful. If you're going to be driving, remember how to drive in the snow. It's been a little while. Talk to you guys soon.